Also, in downtown LA, it was hit hard by looters after most protesters, they already cleared the streets.
Multiple stores were ransacked and left with almost nothing on the shelves. KCON News reporter Tina Patel joins us now live with the chaotic scenes that we saw unfold overnight. Tina?
Yeah, police were out here in the jewelry district a little while ago. They have now left. There is still some private security here, as well as contractors who are trying to clean up the mess that was left behind. You can see one of the windows that has already been boarded up here at an Apple store. From our count, at least 5 stores in this area were broken into, many more vandalized. Take a look. You can hear the alarms going off as a crowd of people broke into a jewelry store on 6th and Broadway just before midnight. It's not clear what those looters might have gotten away with or if any of them were arrested. But take a look at this video, because about a half hour later, we did see police detaining at least a couple people a couple blocks away. The Apple store here was ransacked. There were items all over the floor and sidewalk. A few of the glass windows and doors were shattered, and there was a lot of graffiti left behind. Now, across the street from here, there was also an Adidas store that was broken into, and that's actually the second night in a row that thieves targeted that store. Another shoe store in the area, a nearby pharmacy, were also burglarized. All of these stores are about a mile from where the protest took place last night. It's not clear if it was people from those protests who were responsible for all the looting and vandalizing, or if it was others taking advantage of the chaotic situation downtown. Here's what one person told us he saw.
What I witnessed is just groups of, all ages, all women, men, young kids, everybody just out. And tools, some people had saws, like I said, electric saws, so they came prepared.
Now, we have checked in with LAPD to see if they have a total number of reports of burglaries, vandalisms in the area. We have not gotten that information yet, and we don't know if they're planning to do anything more to protect the businesses in this area, increase patrols or anything like that. They did, LAPD, put out a message on social media a couple nights ago asking any business owners that might be affected by looting or vandalism to report that and to also document any damage before they clean up. Now we want to check in with Mark Liu at the desk. Mark, I understand you have some new video of some of the damage we saw overnight.
Yeah, we just got some new video from more instances of looting, just like you had shown, Tina. This one, a CVS in the downtown area. This video just in, you can see this not far from that Adidas store that Tina was talking about, a CVS here being looted by more than 30 people wearing masks. Now, LAPD also is aware of this one as well. You can see the doors to that pharmacy smashed open. There's people walking out with buckets full of merchandise from inside that store. Now, as Tina had mentioned, this was not the only episode of looting. It happened about a mile from where most of the protests were happening over the last 48 hours. And if you come out to my screen, I'm going to give you an idea of where all this was going on. Okay, so this is downtown LA. Now, most of the protests over the last 48 hours have been in the northern part of downtown LA, near City Hall and the Metropolitan Detention Center. Now, the looting overnight took place much further to the south. This here is the instance of the CVS I just showed you, in that Adidas that was at Broadway and 6th. And then a little bit later, about an hour after that looting at midnight, there was an Apple store at Broadway and 8th. You can see just down Broadway. And then a shoe palace even further down at Main and 9th. And then back up to a marijuana dispensary at Broadway and 7th. Finally, one of the last instances of looting was just from a couple of hours ago at about 3 this morning, a pharmacy at Grand and 11th. So you can see there's a line along this area here where the looting just sort of took place one after the other, hour after hour, as we went into the morning hours here. Now, coming back out live here to me, we have reached out to LAPD to ask about their investigation into these looting incidents. They say they are compiling the numbers here about dollar value lost, the number of businesses hit, and any arrests that they made. We're going to keep on LAPD on this, and I'll tell you when they finally give us those numbers. That's the very latest here from the desk. Back to you.
Yeah, Mark, it's important to note that a lot of these people are agitators. What we've been seeing so far is peaceful protesting. As far as the people who've been arrested, do we know if any of these people were the looters or the ones that are causing all this destruction?
Well, that's really the question here. The connection between the protests that were happening much further to the north around the 101 freeway and the looting that was happening in the south. LAPD is going to look at if there was a connection there or if, as you said, these are just opportunists and agitators who showed up because they knew there was chaos happening in downtown LA.
Yeah, a lot of people just take advantage of the situation, unfortunately. Mark, thank you.